Well, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Survival. And I'm Boomer, your host today, and every day that we're here. So last time we left, we had finished off the water. We were starting to make a XP farm using cactus. We had done 5 layers. I've expanded it now up to 8 so we can recharge our tools relatively quickly. Just got to ignite the furnaces whenever I need it and remember to constantly be loading coal into it. So we had talked about clearing land, and in the bottom left of the screen to my right, you'll see at least this was about how much I had cleared at the end of the last episode. I want to show you some progress we've made. Let's kind of walk along here. Let's see if I can do this at the same time. There we go. That's a pretty good view. We've cleared a lot more. A lot of that we sheared off manually. That was all the way up to about y equals 58. We sheared it down to about 40 manually. We've done some other sections over here, some with TNT, some completely manual. Underneath the cactus farm, let me see if I can optifine in. There we go. That whole section I cleared out manually myself, all the way down to bedrock. Trying to get TNT underneath the cactus farm wasn't going to be all that easy. And I figured, you need to be 9 or 10 blocks above where it hits anyways. Didn't make much sense to try to TNT it out. So I simply put a beacon down and went to town over a few hours and cleared it all out to bedrock. Just a little while ago, I sheared off the remainder of that corner. I still have to go clean the wall up a little bit. And I've got some more in place waiting for when I can get some more TNT. I'm very low on gunpowder right now, so I need to obviously do something about that. But we've been busy. And so the next stage is to continue. Obviously, there's really 3 things going on simultaneously. We're clearing out the stone, dirt, grass, and everything that's in the way to get down to bedrock. Y equals 4 is where the bedrock has stopped and where we're going to start adding in black concrete. Now I have to be careful how close I get to the walls where I'm still going to be TNTing. So when thinking about this, I do have some that I can lay down, and I do want to start laying it down because, trying to figure out surface area and just how much needs to be laid. I do want it when I have time to do, and I don't want to be just clearing stone and clearing stone and clearing stone. I want to do something else. So you figure take, the surface area is radius squared times pi. So 128 times 128 is roughly 16,000 and change. Times it by pi is about 48,000 minus that center circle, which is roughly 28,000. So you figure, wait a minute, no, that's not right, is it? That center circle would be, let's see, that's 73, so half of that. So 36, we'll just say, times 36 times 5. It's about 3,500. So about 3,500 black concrete won't be going into there. But here, this is almost 50,000. So you figure, 46,000 black concrete have to be placed minus any bedrock that's at y equals 4. So just to play it even, we're going to say we're going to prep up 40,000 black concrete. Now, obviously, we're not going to be placing it at once. We'll place it, as areas get clear and far enough from TNT so I don't accidentally blow it all up. So I'm going to come back here and we're going to make some more. I think I have about a chest worth done. Yeah, pretty close. So we're going to make some more here, and give me a second. We'll be right back. honest with you guys up front, a lot of time has passed since that clip was recorded, probably about 9 or 10 days. I wanted to, with the size of this base and a project that's being done, it was kind of hard to narrow the scope of a project and complete it within a 20-minute roughly episode. So what I've done, in addition to widening the floor, I'd also put down the first layer of glass. You can see by the shadow here. What I'm going to be doing is creating that fog effect where every other space, and I've left this open here so you can see, when you leave that layer of glass, what it starts to do is you get the surface of both the top and the bottom of the glass, and that starts to add into it. In other words, you're going to, do I have another block I can use? Yeah. We're going to start to get a darkening of the color here. So now this is too high, and you can see by putting one layer of glass, 2 layers of glass, it gets darker. We now have 3 and 4 just set up to show you. So if you look at 2, 3 is much darker, and we come up here to 4, putting those side by side, it gets even darker. The goal here is to have this entire thing be 4 layers of glass. Yeah, I've done a tremendous amount of clearing. I wanted to really get most of it done before we came back on and did anything else. So what I want to do is just kind of bring you up to date here. We had to move the cactus farm back because I've talked about previously, there's going to be another ring going up. And I've also added a layer to the top as part of the dome that's going in. I think I might have mentioned it, that we were going to put a dome on here. This is the foundational layer where you're going to be able to walk around up top. Let me see if I can get up there with my staff command. There we go. So here's what I've done. In addition, I think I've showed this already, but we put this up top. And this is just to kind of give a nice little walkway up here. The dome will start on this outer layer of dark pris and will go in here, which means I'm going to have to remove this, or I'm going to have to come back and just clear the cobble out. I want to leave it running for a while because when there aren't a lot of people on a server, the creeper spawn rate's pretty decent. And I modified one layer of that creeper farm to only allow it to spawn creepers by putting trapdoors on the ceiling. So the height can only, the mobs that will spawn for the most part are creepers. Now, spider will spawn, but it's probably quintupled my drop rate of gunpowder. So we're going to leave it. Like I said, I can build a dome around it, and then when it's time, I can just remove the little bit of cobblestone that's in there. So the dome is, it's not going to be a circle or a sphere. It's more an oval-shaped dome, probably 9 or 10 blocks high. So it has a very slow curvature to it. But just to give you an idea, we had to push this back about 25 blocks. We have cleared all of that out. We're roughly at about a 65 to 70% total clearance now. We finished all of this between last night and this morning. And we're now down to that section. I'm trying to clear roughly, a 20 by 30 section at a time, so it doesn't feel like it's taking forever, and I'm actually getting something accomplished. So there isn't a whole lot left on this side. I'm hoping within, might be a little aggressive here. I'd like to say, today's the morning of the 19th. By the end of September, at the latest, I'd like to have all the stone gone. Now I've been able to go at a pretty good clip, and that might be doable. So that's kind of what we're going to target. Some food here. So kind of just to give you an example now, here's what we've been doing. Oh, hi guys, I could use a few more of you in my collection. Yeah. This base is insane with the sheer number of slime chunks that are in here. I think if I were to spend, I don't know, let's say an hour doing this, I think I'm probably collecting 20 stacks of slime balls at a crack. But here's what I've been doing to clear this out, and hopefully, I'm using a beacon. Hopefully I'm not encountering too many slime chunks or lava pits. There's been a lot of lava. the ocean for some reason just seems to love lava. So get it lined up so I'm going pretty straight. Letting a Haste 2 beacon. This cobble is a result of a lava pool that had to be removed. And I just go back and forth. Clears 4 blocks at a time until I hit gravel, or something like that. I'll just clear those out, no big deal. And we just do this back and forth. And after, a good amount of time, I can clear one of these sections out. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. It's not the coolest thing in the world to be working on. It's definitely not entertaining. When we talk about building, there's a lot of things that you don't see, and I probably, like a lot of you guys, I watch a lot of the Hermitcrafts. The Hermit's on a series. And you don't see a lot of this. A lot of it gets time-lapsed into a 30-second segment. And I don't think most people really understand or appreciate just how much work has to go into some of the things that they build. Just like what I'm working on. Now, this is a much larger project than most of anything I've ever seen on a Hermitcraft server. Not to say that their builds aren't grandiose, because they are. They are incredible. And I wish I could build like most of them. But a lot of the stuff, they're smaller builds that can be built within, 3 or 4 days. I would say Scar, a good time with Scar is probably 1. And Mumbo tends to build some pretty big stuff. But most of these do take, this type of build definitely takes a long period of time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and work on this for a while. And when this section's cleared, I'll come back. And then we'll just kind of wrap this episode up. Alrighty guys, so we got that section cleared out. We're going to be doing a lot of that. Just to give you an idea of what the immediate and short-term future is here. Because there's still so much stone that needs to be cleared out, and you can see I've actually even did a little bit more. I want to get this done, and we get it as quickly as I can. So the server in this series will probably take on a slightly different feel. Normally, you see most people, you have a project, maybe 2 that you might complete in an episode. At least until, because so much of this is so big and so huge that I'm probably going to follow a little bit different pattern. Instead, we're going to do periodic server episodes where we're going to kind of focus on what's been done and why we're doing things in the way we're doing it versus just knocking off a project or knocking off a section and then building something. We want to try to minimize the amount of wasted time and effort to have to go back and undo things when we add in new features or part of the build. We also want to make sure we're not duplicating time and effort and that we're being efficient with all of that. So we're going to end this episode here just a little bit early, but my goal is to try to get every few days to give you some updates. And like I said, I want to have all this stone cleared before the end of September. But I do want to get going. I'm very anxious to continue this tower, to get that dome built, to get the second ring going, and start to get some farms going here. We've been working nonstop on this for close to 3 months now, and I really want you guys to be able to see what this is going to look like. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys all adieu. I thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. But as always, when you're in survival, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.